So what one has to do is to rise within oneself up to the point of Agya and try to steady your Agya. There are many people who have asked me one question, how to steady the Agya. Agya is placed at the crossing point of our nerves and also optic thalamus. Now, so it is said that if you have wobbling eyes, you will have a wobbling Agya. You have to steady your eyes. You have to soothe them. Now, it is very, very out of date, ancient, old, and all sorts of names that you call it to a thing like that. But you must steady your eyes and steady them in such a way that it is very soothing for the eyes. Which is the most soothing thing for the eyes is the green grass. If you could see the green grass with your eyes, means you walk with your eyes on the ground. Your eyes will be soothed, your Agya will be all right. That's why Christ said that I tell you about the adulterous eyes. He talked about adulterous eyes, the eyes with which you do adultery. It's a very common thing these days. Every woman a man must see, every man a woman must see. As if it is the most important job. If you have not seen one woman, you have finished. I mean, this is being modern. But I am an old-fashioned lady. And at the time of Christ, he said, you should not have adulterous eyes. These eyes have to be very, very pure, very, very deep, and very loving when you want to have your Agya all right. Because you receive through your eyes. Say if you have closed your eyes, you do not put your attention to anything because your eyes are closed. You are not adding more thoughts to yourself. But if your eyes are open, you are adding much more thoughts because everywhere the eyes go, the attention goes and you see things and create thoughts and put in them. So your attention, which has to go to the Spirit, which has to go to God, which has to shine through the window of divine, this beautiful thing is ruined by the way we use our eyes and we do not respect it. There's nothing so pure and beautiful as the grass on the ground or the ground itself, which takes our feet, which supports us, which looks after us, enriches us. We should put our eyes on the Mother Earth instead of looking at every person. But from Sahaja Yoga point of view now, many of you know what happens to your eyes when you look at somebody. Maybe entity might enter into your eyes. And it is, you will be amazed that it is the play of the entity, what we call this so-called flirting is. I've talked about it before also, and people didn't like it when I told them about it. But I have seen actual entities entering from eyes to eyes. I have seen very simple people who come down to such places, say in a party. In a party, people are just exchanging entities from one eye to another. Once it goes to another person, he puts his entity into another person. And that goes into another person. All the time your attention is diverted. And you feel it is attracted towards something. You do not know why it is attracted. Now the certain symbols are also made like that. To add up to the problems, you see, all the society is working at it, that you should appear in such a way that every man should look at you. Every woman should look at you. Why? What is the use? Supposing I look at you, what do I get? What do I get by looking at a person? What is the advantage? Just looking at a person? We are wasting such a lot of energy for what? In the same way, if you are walking on the roads, on we are seeing some beautiful things, all right. If you have to buy something, all right, go ahead, see those things, whatever you have to select is all right. But all the time, just because your eyes are such, you are just doing it and you do not know the reason why you are doing like this. All the time, why your eyes are wobbling. And that is a sure and certain sign for a person to become mad. Absolutely, that's a sure and certain sign, is when a person is mad. How do you make it out that a person is lunatic? if you see his eyes, the iris and the eyes are all the time wobbling. They cannot keep it steady. Or they are sick, there also you can see that these eyes are all the time wobbling. There's no steadiness. Not only this, but you have seen those people who come in the Sahaja Yoga, when they close their eyes, they find their eyes are flickering, their eyelids are flickering. That means there's some sort of a disturbance in the Kundalini rising. Whole tension, if you call it as 100, then at least 80% of it comes through our eyes. Then how important it is to protect our eyes from all kind of useless activities we are doing. One has to think about all these things in the proper light of Sahaja. Unless and until you are realized, my talk is just useless for you. But once you are realized, you will know that if you glance at someone, you might suddenly get a headache at the back. You might feel a dart has gone into your head or something has happened. You might feel that you are blinding with somebody's face, and you will get all kinds of experiences by which you will know how important are your eyes. All your nervousness and everything can be cured if you have pure eyes. But it is such a vicious circle that through your eyes you gather all the bad and is accumulated in the agya, and you have to clear the agya to make the eyes clear. It's a vicious circle. But it can start at a point, as I said, we have to ask for forgiveness. Secondly, we have to bring Christ in our agya chakra. Thirdly, we have to give up all drugs and all intoxicants and all smoking. That happens automatically when you are a Sahaja Yogi, it will work out. But eyes express the whole of your being, your brain, your body, your limbs, everything. And if your agya is all right, then your eyes are perfectly all right. They emit nothing but love. Wherever they glance, only with the glance of your eyes you can raise the Kundalini. Only with the glance of your eyes you can cure people. Only with your glance you can bring joy into the destroyed and the ruined people. So these eyes which you see are the windows of your being, of your heart. When the spirit is expressed through your eyes, you must have noticed yourself that when the Kundalini rises, then the eyes become dilated. And a realized soul has got black eyes because they have these eyes are dilated. At least when I see them, they are all dilated black eyes. Apart from that, a realized soul can be made out by his eyes which are sparkling. There's a sparkle like diamonds. They sparkle all the time, and you can make out from the eyes that this person is a realized soul. There's a tremendous difference between a non-realized soul's eyes and the realized soul's eyes. So you can imagine how your spirit sees through your eyes. But if the eyes are not pure, it doesn't stay there long. So if we have to understand Christ, physically we have to respect our eyes. Mentally we have to give up all that is impure in our mind.